So you're out there in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
So what are you
it's
doing out there? Are you doing a lot of recording? Is that where you've based yourself recently?
so I'm actually right now I'm in Orange County because I'm finishing up my senior year at Chapman,
Huh.
but I think a month from today I'm moving to Los Angeles because I do the drive from Orange County to LA at least 3 times a week.
Well, that's a
So
drive. Yeah. Get used to being
yeah,
in the car.
yeah, put on a good podcast, put on some a playlist, and then I'll be set.
Now, do you get any ideas, music ideas, lyric ideas, melodies that you have to pull over and say, "Wait a minute, I got to get this down on in my phone here."
Sometimes recently, yeah, now that I think about it, but it's more I will put my voice memos on and I'll just either say the line or if I have a melody, I'll be like, "Na, na, na,"
Yeah, it
or
just hits you right.
yeah. I have to go back. I don't know how it sounds, but there's been a couple times where had to, I had a good idea, get it down somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to be down there because it just hits you. You're always working in that sense that you're always hearing something. You got an earworm. Something is going to hit you at that point. So that's a really good thing, actually. Nice that you have that instead of like having to write with pen and paper. You got your phone and you can just actually enunciate that into the phone.
Yeah, it's such a game changer. I do still like my go-to is a pen and paper just because one, I don't know why, but just physically writing down a certain idea or lyric, it gets stuck in my head and it just drives me to think about it a lot more than just like jotting down an idea.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's something, having that physical contact. And when I would write articles, I would like scrunch it just to make sure I was like getting a lot in on one page. And I feel like I was like accomplishing something. It's very psychological.
Yeah, and it's just something about like you get to put a specific note on one point of the paper and rather than just like lining it up because I'll be like, ah, never mind, I want to put something on the side just in case we have to change it or idea for another song. So my
Yeah,
notes are actually just all over the place, but I like it that way.
that's cool. So how much are you coming up with? Do you feel you got a pretty heavy volume of stuff in your songbook? Obviously, nothing's that's hit the recording studio yet, but do you have a huge notebook full of stuff?
Yeah, it's packed. Because I also it's not just where I write my songs, it's where I actually journal. I do go back to these journal entries or whatever I'm
Cool.
writing about and kind of just sometimes I do take stuff from that and I'm like, oh, that's actually a really cool concept to put for a song. But yeah, so it's a mixture of songs, ideas, dreams,
Yeah.
stuff going on in my life. Little memory book.
Yeah, that's cool. So going way back, growing up, Miami born, and how did the music hit you? You were around 8 years old when things were really just starting to come to fruition for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of musical theater. I was doing a lot of musical theater. I was back and forth for a couple years between do I want to act, do I want to sing, and then I realized that the reason why I'm doing musical theater is because it gives me another excuse to sing in front of an audience. So yeah, a lot of when I was around 8 and younger, a lot of recitals, spring flings, the
Oh,
Christmas
that's fun.
recital. So I loved it. We sang the same songs for like 8 years, but
Oh
it
yeah.
changed
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, you nail it after a while. You really get it like down and it becomes like comfort food to you after a while, I'm sure.
Yeah, don't even need the songbook. Just put the binder aside, ready to sing.
So you started singing in kindergarten. By the time you got to 8, and you wrote what was called your first song, what was that one about?
It's called The Only Girl. It was I had just I got an iPod for Christmas, and I downloaded this app. where you can record your voice and they'll have a beat.
Oh, sure.
And I wasn't really sure how to use it. I knew how to press record, and I knew how to find all the beats that they offered. So I wrote this song called "The Only Girl" for my Valentine in, I think, third grade. 8 years old, third.
Yeah, that's about right. That's
And it was way more than I expected. I got too deep into it. I was like, "You're the only girl I'm gonna love," or like only one I'm
sweet.
dreaming about. There was another one called "Why Don't You Love Me?" And I'm just like, what was baby Rudy going through? Like, he really was trying to make that heartbreak anthem, or the song that everyone's gonna sing at their wedding.
Yeah, there
I
you
don't
go.
know. He
That's
was
thinking.
manifesting, but no, years later, we're still doing the same thing.
So
Yeah.
you were in Miami the whole time growing up, and did you graduate high school from there, or did you move away?
Yeah. I've been in South Miami till I was 18, and then I moved out
Oh,
to California.
okay. And then Chapman doing, is it film studies? Is that what you're up to?
Yeah. So I'm
That's
working
neat. So
in
you must have, you always been in, were you into musical theater type film, or just the huge array of them?
I really love watching any kind of movie. I do, my guilty pleasure is like the psychological thrillers and the horror movies, or kind of, I was a big Harry Potter kid. Um, but I just like having that story where you're just like gripping against the couch or the movie theater chair, just something that draws your attention and your body can't even handle it. I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm so dramatic with my friends whenever we go see these films, because I'm something, something's gonna happen or something's approaching, and I'm just like holding on to my friend. I'm like, oh my God, they're coming, they're gonna be dead. They have no idea. They need a plan right now. I'm trying to think of the plan for them.
Getting
But
all emotional and getting into it, like you're rooting for them. I know that feeling when you're watching something like that, and you're just
yeah,
like, there is. It really has an effect on you, even psychologically and physiologically.
I love those movies. So I guess that's, I love just having some sort of reaction when watching a film. Same with music too. I get those body chills whenever I listen to someone hitting a crazy riff or belting those high notes. I'm just like,
Yeah.
how did this do that?
How do they do it though? I mean, somebody who's like talking normal voice and like they hit these insane notes and do a really good rich falsetto. It's like, how do you, does somebody train you to do that?
I guess I'm still learning. So
Amazing. Yeah.
if anyone if anyone
Hmm.
has the answer, please let me know.
So far you got a pretty good catalog going. You got some really nice songs out there. So it's all been singles so far. Have you done a full EP, or and then future you're planning on LPs?
Actually, it's funny you say that. I posted a TikTok last night, kind of talking about, uh I went into a year ago, I think it was January 2021. I did a writing retreat with my producers and my friends, and we wrote 5 or 6 songs, um, thinking it was going to be an EP. So it has like my Say Less, Runaway, Treason, Goodnight Moon, and then a couple others that aren't out yet. But I was going to release that whole thing as an EP, and then ended up just throwing them out as singles. And by now, I was just like, I want to start over and write more stuff. I now know what I like. I know what my listeners like more. So I kind of want to put that all together, and hopefully in the next month or two start really getting into the studio and doing those sessions with the new stuff.
And get really serious about getting an EP together. We're in 2022 now, so like, are you shooting like for fall time or later to really have your own EP out, or is it just still going to be singles from going on from here?
As of now, I have two singles ready for, I haven't figured out the date yet, but
Yeah.
summertime, beginning of summer, in the middle of summer, and then during those singles, kind of announce that's an EP is coming, a full project. But that's all I have for now. Because I keep talking about my EP with my team, and they're like, "Yeah, where is it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's coming. We're jotting down the ideas. We're getting ready. Uh, Got to graduate first, you know."
That helps.
Yeah. Then I'll dive into it and grind that out. But
Yeah,
uh,
got some good stuff out there. Treason is a really good single. I like some lyrics that really caught my eye that I really enjoy. Had enough, just had to walk away. What are the roots of that song, Treason?
I didn't go through the best breakup, but it was just so dramatic, a lot of this and that, drama everywhere. So I thought of the word treason, and I just thought it was very dramatic. And I wanted to kind of have a song be as dramatic as this breakup and kind of be like, oh, you committed treason. You did this to me, you did this and that. But I grew from that because it was just such a weird and terrible situation. So I had to learn to let go. So it's kind of a little bit of uh, extra dramatized version of the breakup. And then it also focuses on me working on myself, letting go of all that BS and,
Uh,
moving forward.
that feeling of you having your trust broken, and it's like you want to get that out on. It gave you a great song, but unfortunately, you have to live through that, and it's a life experience. But definitely gets out there. It's a pretty powerful song.
Thank you. It was very therapeutic to, put that out. But at the same time, still had to go through it, you know, kind of
Yeah.
sucked with the future relationships, whatever happened,
Yeah.
whatever I want to call it. Just because of I did get this sort of I did have some sort of trust issues after that. Um, but learning, growing, trying to get over it.
Yeah, it's always there kind of with you. So you always have to just basically, deal with it in your own ways. And through music, it definitely seems like it helps. I love the video to Goodnight Moon. How did that come about? That's really well done.
Oh, thank you. It really on set, it was all my friends who um were working on it, and all the extras were my friends, and the band were my producers who helped me with the song on stage with me on one of the scenes. But I remember I called my friend Andy, who directed the video. He did my other video, Say Less. And I was like, okay, so I have a song, one of my favorites. I need you on this. He's in New York. And
Mm.
he's like, yeah, I'll come to California. I was like, great. So this is what the song is, blah, blah, blah. And in the lyrics, I kind of talk about like bottle service and, trying to put that club, that picture of a club through the lyrics. And I was just like, I want to do something not like that at all. I don't, that's not why I wrote the song. So I wanted to do this high school party kind of vibe. My dad always calls me Ferris Bueller because I do get away with a lot of things, especially when it's between me and my brother. So I wanted to kind of give off that vibe, dress like him a little bit with the um, hair slicked back, the leather jacket. but also having that like teenage angst
Yeah.
uh, theme to it, throwing a party when your parents are out of town. And yeah, it was so much fun. I had a ball just being with my friends and jumping around doing dancing in front of a refrigerator for like 6 or 7 takes. And yeah, then it became a music video.
So the same person who did Say Less, which is a really fun video too, with the palm trees and the lighthouse. So it's has a really unique look. So yeah, you must have a really good relationship with that director.
Yeah, we've been friends for years. I know him through Miami. He's from Miami. And so um I when we did Say Less, I thought that video is what got me to be more comfortable with the camera, and I fully give him all props to that. He would yell at me. He's like, "You're literally by a lighthouse in the middle of an island. Like, how are you supposed to act?" And I'm like, I'm trying to remember the words, but yeah, let's jump around and do this and that." So he really got me out of my comfort zone and made me look more natural in the camera. So as after we did that video, I had to call him up for Goodnight Moon, and I'm like, we have to work again.
Yeah, yeah. So this kind of goes back to your Miami roots, heavily Cuban roots too. Are your grandparents from Cuba or your parents? Are you how much are you removed from the Havana scene?
So my dad is from Cuba, and his whole side of the family is Cuban. And um, being in California, um, there are um, I don't know how to explain it, but I've lost my sense of like being able to speak Spanish because I don't necessarily speak it as much as I do in Miami. Because whenever you're in Miami, if you don't know at least how to have a decent conversation, you're well, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like
Yeah, I've
you
gotten
just
that
have
vibe. I've been
to,
to Miami. Yeah,
yeah, you just kind of have to pick it up or else you're screwed. Um,
yeah.
but it's a lot more chill in California, so I'm not speaking it as much. So that's also another goal of mine, kind of getting it back and bringing back that culture, because I learned so much in living in Miami, just with like not just the Cuban culture. There's so many other cultures, just like you're surrounded by them, so you're learning so much, and it's become a part of your life and your friend's life. So it's growing up in Miami, that was like I couldn't have asked for a better um, childhood. And but yeah, coming back, being in California, I just kind of have to get back into the rhythm.
That's so true. And if you're not using the Spanish, you lose it. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And that's and with any of these languages, you got to practice it all the time. So that's it's got to be so frustrating if you lost it and then you're trying to relearn it. It's like, I can't stand when things like I lose something and I'm trying to relearn that.
Yeah, I can right now, I would say if someone were to talk to me in Spanish, I'd either take way too long to answer in Spanish,
Yeah.
or I'll be able to just answer in English. So I still
Yeah.
got a little bit, but I might have to pull out the textbook real quick and do a little Spanish 101.
Yeah. It's a great music scene. Did you have people who you looked up to when you were in Miami, from the Miami sound machine, anybody like that had influence on you?
Um, I would say definitely, definitely, but I got more into um Latin music, I think around high school, mainly because I reggaeton was like very popular. Um, and so I was listening to a lot of that, and that definitely I my first song I ever released was like a Spanglish
Yeah.
version called Contigo. So definitely had some inspiration behind that. But I mean, when I was younger, I would listen to, I guess they were my dad's mixtapes or something, those little like CDs he put together. And it was a lot of Justin Timberlake, Usher, a little bit of Barry White. My family loves Barry White. So it was a whole mix of songs, but I feel like Usher and Justin Timberlake were the ones I was listening to, and I was just dancing in my room, my headphones on.
Oh wow. What a great way to look ahead and say, I'd like to do something like that one day. And then it's like you're on your way pretty much. It's just you're getting the education out of the way, and the world's your oyster at a certain point.
Yeah, I'm almost at the finish line with school, but yeah, no, it's crazy to think about how I've always wanted to do this. And there's were so many points in my life where I was just like, oh, be a screen actor, I'll do acting, I'll be on Broadway, I'll try and get myself there. And it was actually funny because I applied to so many schools for different things. So I did one school for music, I auditioned for musical theater, I did a self-tape for screen acting. Um, so it's cool to see um, or look back at me listening to Justin Timberlake in my room and dancing and singing along with him, to me now dancing on stage, singing my own songs.
Yeah, he's really neat. And, he's done plenty of acting too. So, I mean, if the music comes first, I've seen a lot of people just do that crossover and get into acting later on and mix it all up. So you can do both. I mean, Lady Gaga and some of these other people you never would have imagined who are so good in music had all these hit records, and then they're able to really crush it in the movies.
Triple threats. There,
Yeah.
I got to work on my dancing, but acting will definitely be um, something I want to get back into at some point.
Yeah, some good dancing in the I Don't Know video. No, Camille Stidham is the director. Is that who you were referring to earlier? Or is this another director?
This is another director and producer. She did both. She's my good friend, my best friend at college. And so when I came back to school, I just called her and I was like, we're gonna do my first music video and it's gonna be amazing. We got all of our film friends together and it was really cool to put together, especially with someone who I lived like 2 blocks away from her during that time. So we just like walk over each other's houses and kind of um, put that together.
Yeah, choreography. Jack Mayer is. I see the credit at the end there. It's really good. I always appreciate great choreography. It's a fun video. I suggest people to check that out. Now, is this on? Do you have a YouTube page?
Yes, it's I think under my name, Rudy Touzet. But
Basically, just Google it.
yeah,
And then
you if you search up my name on YouTube, you'll find the page.
Touzet. Make sure that's there, and you have a main website using that name as well.
Yeah, it's yeah, I never know how to introduce my name because if I just say find me at Rudy Touzet, I have to spell my last name first.
Yeah.
Just in case.
You can font that. Not many people watch my YouTube version, so I mean we can put the font there, but yeah, Touzet. That's it's important to know that and get the hits on your site. And can we order your music through your site too? Do downloads from there, or basically just hear you on Spotify and places like that?
I think on my website has the songs listed and then you could it'll take you to whatever streaming service you use.
Yeah,
But
some very very deep songs there. Another favorite of mine is Runaway. That
oh,
what is the catalyst of that song?
so I that song has been in the making. It took a while. We had trying to think. when I was recording Contigo, the first version of Contigo, back in 2019, I immediately came back with Runaway. Um, so I thought I had a finished product, but I um, I was holding that one off because I went from like a dance Spanish song to this. It was originally like this slow. We had what I'm trying to remember the original beat, but it was very smooth jazz like, and then so I just kept it for myself for a year or two, and then when we were doing this writing retreat, we were just kind of going through notes and voice memos and kind of anything I had with me, and I played it, and my producers were like, this could be really cool. Can you get the vocals? And I was like, yeah, I mean, if you have an idea, I can re-record it too. We can definitely start from scratch with this one. And so a year later, they brought out this crazy beat with the drums and bass, and oh my God, it was like, as soon as I heard it, I forgot what I said. I wanted to like smash my head into a wall, like in the best way possible. I was like, this, it goes hard. This is, I, as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Whenever
Yeah.
you need me, I will be in the closet where I was recording all the songs.
Totally nailed it. Yeah, so you have some really talented engineers, mixers, people like that who could really make this sound just amazing. And it sounds great. I mean, I'm on YouTube, and it just yeah, you got a good team there.
Thank you. Yeah. We started working together, my my first song with them was I Don't Know. And then as soon as we finished that song, I was I was like, I'll see you next week. We actually were doing it via FaceTime and Zoom, but after we finished that song, I was like, we're gonna do a lot more. I got a whole
Good.
list for you guys. Um, yeah, I've made all my other songs with them ever since.
Excellent. That
They're
is
like family to
really
me.
good to hear. So are you wanting to do live performing? You want to get out there and do touring? Is that something that you have in the cards after college?
Touring is the dream. Definitely want to go on tour. Um, right now, I actually I'm performing at my first music festival next Friday.
Hmm.
It'll be really cool. It's actually run by Chapman students. And so they brought back some alums and uh, some students who are there now. And so when they asked me to perform, I was like, please. And it's at this amphitheater, and I'm just so excited. And we've really been diving deep into the set list, and I'm so excited to
Hmm.
just perform. I've been every single performance I've done so far has just been so much fun. I thought I'd get nervous beforehand, but I'm just like, I just need to do it. That drive, it's such a great feeling. It's not stress, it's just like jittery. Like I want to jump around on stage. I want to sing the songs. I want to look at people in the audience. But yeah, that's hopefully the summer I'll get more performances and eventually a tour or open up for someone. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Take It As a Win is really lyric heavy. That's I was jotting down some of these lyrics too, and it's just really very deep stuff there. uh Taking it as a win that you couldn't choose. So I made up my mind for you. I mean, it's like really deep stuff there. How did that hit you?
It was actually a song. Everyone thought it was this kind of breakup fu anthem, and I was like, no, this is actually about like a situation I had with one of my friends, one of my good friends. We kind of were losing, weren't talking as much, arguing a lot more, And so I wasn't feeling the same support and love that I was giving towards them. And I was just like, you know what? If you don't want to be my friend anymore, you can take it as a win, but I'm going to take it as a win because you're way too indecisive for me.
Hmm.
And you're just not giving me what I need from a friend. And so I'll make my mind up for you and bye bye for now.
Yeah, pretty deep. Getting it down there on record. That's really good. Goodnight Moon is just this wonderful pulsating beat. It's just really, really uplifting. I really highly recommend people go on YouTube and check that one out. It's just really just you really want to lift me up and get something to be on your like when you're doing your run or on the treadmill or something like that. It's just really, really good. And I just, yeah, I would look forward to hearing more songs like that in your catalog.
Thank you. I'm definitely on the way, in the
Yeah.
process of
Yeah.
making songs. Oh, I love that song so much. And I'm so glad it's out. I waited a year to put that one out. I wanted to hold it a little bit longer. Um, it was going to be a summer single. I was like, let's just hold it back
Yeah.
just for a second, you know, get some more people listening to my music and then kind of just drop it on them. Um, but I love that song so much. I think it's an interesting message. People can see it two different ways. Kind of, I see it as two different ways. But when I first heard the beat, I was just like, okay, this is a party song. This, it just makes me want to dance, makes me want to jump in the air, um, kind of just twirl around, spin around. Um, and so during that time, it was January 2021, so things were still closed. People were still at their homes, and we were just kind of talking about how much we miss just going out, and not for the whole like drinking and having a crazy night, but more just like being on the dance floor with your friends, letting loose, kind of just like escaping whatever's going on in the moment, whatever stress, um, or whatever stressful situation you're in, or just kind of I go out to the bars or the clubs just to literally just to dance. And so that's my form of escaping my reality. And so while I was thinking about this whole idea of wanting to escape, I was like, how far can we go? And then out of nowhere, I was just like, well, Goodnight Moon. And then as soon as that came out of my mouth, I grabbed my phone and I was like, Goodnight Moon. And I was like, okay, we got it. And then the stars, I wanted to reach out to the stars, go all the way to the moon, and kind of bring that all together and make the song that's out now.
Hey, that's awesome. So what do you got in the future then beyond obviously you want to tour, do film. What do you see yourself? I'm sure this gets asked all the time. What do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Of course, that's hard to say. Wherever the wind takes me, I guess it's hard for me. Even it's like I don't know. But if your dream is how many do you want to do an album a year if you were able to do that, if you were really catching on, or would you give yourself a little bit more time in the next couple of years just to take more time with every project?
I think I would do an album of a year if I was given that like opportunity. It's yeah, I'm trying to think 5 years. Trying to think how old I'd be. I'd be um, around 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when the
Uh,
Beatles broke up, I think they were in their late 20s. Like, God, they hit like when they were like 19, 20 or something like that. It's insane. Of course, going almost back 50 years ago, 19 or 20-year-old was definitely a lot older in certain respects than today. So,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm just looking at all these insane artists, these successful artists. They're like 16, 17. Like
Amazing.
wow, I should have done this when I was back in my musical theater days. I'm like, oh, probably should have released that album of voice memos that I had on my garage band.
Yeah.
But definitely, my dream is just to go tour all over the world. Kind of, if people, this is, I feel like this is so cheesy, but like people are buying tickets to see you there,
Yeah.
or whoever wants to see you is bringing a friend that is along for the ride, and by the end of the night, you might have a new fan or a new person that likes your music. And so just being in a room with people who support you and love you, that's just like, that's the best feeling in the entire world. And they know your songs too. It's kind of like a break for you because you're
Yeah.
just singing with them and having a great time. And I've only done like 4 or 5 performances so far, and they've just been so much fun. So if I were to be able to do that, not just in California and all over the world, that would be an absolute dream. And
Yeah, get to see more of this world. Definitely, definitely get out there and travel. Who knows? Maybe you could play Havana, Cuba one day. Who knows? But I don't know if your dad would be so thrilled with that, if unless things really change over there.
yeah, we'll do a rain check on that one. But that
I'm sure he's given you some lectures about the history of Cuba.
yeah, I learned a lot about Cuba, especially recently. But I do want to go visit at sometime soon, um, just to kind of see what it was like before everything changes, because everything does change at
Yeah.
some point. But right now, we're just gonna acknowledge it and admire the culture.
Yeah, and it is. It's a very unique culture. I've been to Coconut Grove over there in Florida, and there's Little Havana and a lot of those little areas there. It's a great influence. The food is just amazing. Cuban food, wow,
Oh
out
my
this world.
God. Every morning, I'm just like, the things I would do for a Cuban pastry right now, the things I would do for a croqueta. Oh my God. My mouth is just watering. Every time I say that word, I'm just like, but
I know there's that comfort food, and they can't, they can't do this in LA. Are you kidding me? It's like, what do they know from that? It's all about avocado toast, I'm sure, and things
uh,
like that.
and great Mexican food though. I,
Yeah.
I there's this one place where I get these amazing tacos, and
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a good influence of Mexican there too, as well. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you this evening. Best of luck as your education winds down and you get out there and get into the real world. We look forward to hearing a lot from you then.
thank you so much. It's nice to virtually meet you.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I'm in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So if you're usually there's just stopovers here. People don't really come here to visit, but maybe one day I'll get to see you perform in person.
yeah, maybe one day when I'm on tour there.
Absolutely. Well, you have a great evening and best wishes.
You too. Thank you so much.
Peace. Have a good one.
See ya.